People don't buy products, people don't buy projects, people buy people. They're not a networking platform. People need to understand this. Your community may not be on Twitter. They may not be on Instagram. They may not be on the LinkedIn platform. I would say a lot of my career has been thanks to LinkedIn. So shout out to LinkedIn.
GM, welcome to another episode of the Board Founders Show. Today with me, Zack Deris, the founder and CEO of ZDTS, a #1 rated growth, marketing and sales training for agencies on the LinkedIn platform. Since 2020, Zack has advised many Web3 projects and brands on their community growth, building and partnership strategies that has resulted in millions of dollars for these brands. Zack worked with over 6,000 people in his career. He's working closely with the LinkedIn Web3 team. His content reaches over 3 million people each year, and he's established as a #1 source for Web3 community growth and marketing on LinkedIn. Zack, welcome to the show, man.
Good. I appreciate you having me, Bogusz. That was a nice introduction, so thank you very much.
How are you? How are you today?
Good, like in between meetings and training, so it's fun. I'm happy that we had the opportunity to do this. So again, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Before we move to the questions, I would like to invite you all to the Board Founders Club, our NFT gated community, where you can hang out with like-minded founders, Web3 founders, creators, developers, investors, and also with me. And also with Zack, because Zack is joining the Board Founders Club, so we can hang out there together and build the big professional network. Okay, Zack, tell us a bit about yourself. What's your background? Who are you, and what do you do?
Awesome, cool. So I've always been a salesperson. I would say, to give people a good understanding of me and how my journey began, in 2009, I dropped out of college because I didn't really enjoy it. And I began traveling. And whilst I was on my travels, I was doing some research for business academies because I was more interested in actually making money and creating a business rather than going to school. And I got really lucky. I discovered an academy called the National Enterprise Academy, which was founded by Peter Jones, who is one of the dragons from Dragon's Den. That's the UK's Shark Tank. And 300 people applied, 71 got into the interviews, and 28 got into the actual academy. And that was including me. I spent a year and a half there, got the opportunity to pitch in front of incredible people such as Peter and Theo Paphitis and people who worked for Sir Alan Sugar, and really learned a lot about my passion for sales during that time. And after I left, I did a couple of jobs, right? I even worked in Costa for about a year, and still to this day, it's kind of like a dream job. I loved making coffee. Maybe one day I'll have my own coffee shop. You never know, which is very different from spending all day on a computer speaking to people, right?
How do you prepare your coffee? What's your favorite?
I mean, at home, I have a Dolce Gusto, so I just push a button, right? Okay. But like when I was in the coffee shop, I do flat whites all day, like really take your time to curate the milk, like, and have an even percentage of a third coffee, a third milk, a third froth. Like, I love coffee. But yeah, no, I did a couple jobs, and then around 2013, I had the opportunity to work in a telesales team for a distributor of magazines to hotels, to airports, to car dealerships, and to hair salons. And that's when I really found my calling, because I realized that, hey, being able to call 100 people a day and get like 10 potential sales, like, it was really exciting for me. And that fast forwarded to about June of 2014, where as a salesperson, especially in telesales teams, people will know that if you hit your target early, your manager will allow you to relax a little bit until the end of the month. And I hit my target early, and I said to my manager, Emma, shout out to Emma Beers, I've always used the LinkedIn platform to research my clients, but I haven't ever used it to try to sell to my clients. Can I take the next 10 days and try to sell on this platform? And I did. And fast forward 10 days, I picked up the phone once and I closed over 35 deals, which is 10% on top of my target. And for a salesperson that spent the majority of 8 hours a day calling people, being able to do all your sales via direct messaging on the LinkedIn platform, that was completely revolutionary to me. So I spent the next few years after that building business development teams within corporate organizations with a key focus on social selling on the LinkedIn platform until 2017, where I decided I'm going to do this myself. And I created ZDTS, which is short for Zack Deris Training Services, because we began as a training business, as a sales training business, but it's evolved so much since then. And here we are today. It's not easy. It's really fun, loads of long hours, but we have a great team and we have amazing clients. So I love what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. How did you get into the Web3 world, to the new internet? Because you are, I think, into Web3 a lot, and you have this recurring event, Web3 that networking, and you work with Web3 brands and help Web3 communities. So how did you get started with Web3? Why did you notice it at all?
It was purely accidental. Around 2020, I was co-hosting a live event on the LinkedIn platform, which was cross-streamed onto YouTube, and it was really focused on what I was a specialist at the time, which was growth on many different social media platforms. But I attracted the attention of a founder of a blockchain project, right? They were a DeFi project. I had very, very small experience and the knowledge on what blockchain was at that time. And just like what Gary Vee says, right? If you're ever going to dive into a new industry or learn a new skill, you need to spend a minimum of 50 hours, right? Learning and researching the skill. So after this individual reached out to me and asked me to help him with growth, which turned out to be growing their community, I fell in love with the space. It just blew my mind, because everything that I did up until then was really helping the brands and the business owners scale in terms of onboarding new customers. But with this, I was onboarding more of a B2C kind of customer and convincing people to join communities. And if the project is right, which at that time it was, and it still is, there isn't anything more rewarding than being able to see a large quantity of individuals appreciate a project that they can relate to. So to summarize, I fell into Web3 completely accidental, thanks to LinkedIn. Again, I would say a lot of my career has been thanks to LinkedIn. So shout out to LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is getting better and better right now, because using Facebook is not comfortable anymore. It's like a lot of spammy things. The groups on LinkedIn should be a bit better, I think.
They're underestimated massively and they're underappreciated. So if we have a look at the Facebook platform, the groups there are amazing. I have so many clients where they do very small amounts of sales on the LinkedIn platform, but the majority of their sales actually come from groups via Facebook. It's insane. It's all about your target audience, right? And understanding that your community may not be on Twitter. They may not be on Instagram. They may not be on the LinkedIn platform. So taking the opportunity to hit every single market is going to help you attract people from all over the world.
Yeah. Zack, why have you decided to help consultants and agencies to develop their business? Because you were a salesperson. Why did you decide to help people and not to sell to them?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, a lot of people see it like I'm giving away my business model and I'm creating competition. Yeah. One out of the two is true, right? I am giving away our business model, but we're not creating competition, because the Web3 space is very unique, where if you are the right builder in this space, there is no competition. There's only collaboration. So in January 2022, there was about 865 Web3 consultants, strategists, and agencies on the LinkedIn platform. If you like data and you geek out on data, I would highly recommend anyone tapping into the premium version for LinkedIn, the Sales Navigator, because it's kind of like the back end of the LinkedIn platform, and it allows you to tap into the algorithm of people's profiles. So every single day I would do keyword searches to understand how many consultants, strategists, and agencies there are in the space. And as I mentioned, January 2022, there was about 865. Fast forward January 2023, there's 22,000 agencies, consultants, and strategists on the LinkedIn platform. That's excluding the amount that advertise themselves on Twitter and Fiverr and Upwork and all these other platforms. To me, Bogusz, that was alarming because there's more people trying to help people grow than there is actually projects successfully being able to launch. So because of the fact that ZDTS has had a lot of success across the whole entire industry of Web3, being able to help people go to market and launch, we decided collaboratively between me and my COO, who's my wife, we decided to teach people our blueprint. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many projects that we can handle ourselves, regardless of how big we scale as an agency. So if we genuinely have the right passion for this space and really do wish to help everybody grow within the Web3 space, you need to be able to help other people attract these customers and help them grow. So the whole entire business model is basically we do it through a crash course. It's about 7 hours long. They come in, we pick apart their whole entire go-to-market strategy, their business plan, their services, and we improve it. We show them the right ways of how to onboard new customers and how to execute. And 9 times out of 10, we still learn with every single project that we take on. But 9 times out of 10, the projects that we choose, because we're very specific with who we onboard on this program, they're successful and they make a difference in this space.
Yeah, and what are the one of the best projects that you've been working on?
Okay, it's a good question, man. We've done everything from tokens to DeFi to PFP projects, but there isn't anything compared to what we're doing at the moment, which is the 100 community. The 100 started off as a concept. It started off as an idea at the beginning of this year. At zero cost whatsoever, can I personally take 100 individuals that are trying to grow on the LinkedIn platform and give them my blueprint, give them my support, and create a community where everybody works together to support each other? Can 100 people by the end of the year be successful and achieve the numbers and the results that I've been achieving myself? I know this works for my clients because that's why they hire us, but for random people, right, that I've just been inspired by their content and their commitment to LinkedIn and engaging, can we work together as a community to really grow? So in order to have 100 people, you're going to have to offer many, many, many people to join the community. Because in January, we onboarded 123 people. At the end of January, there was only 29 individuals, shout out to you 29, who they completed every single task, right? They participated in all of the live events, all of the networking kind of sessions, all the masterminds, absolutely everything. So the beginning of Feb, we onboarded another 40 people. From that 40 people, there's only 10 of these individuals that are participating in everything. So we're going to get to 100 individuals and all of them are going to hit better statistics than I have because that's the goal. But it will take the whole entire year to get there. So if you don't mind me plugging it, if anyone's interested in joining a community of 100 individuals, go to LinkedIn and you can find me there, Zack Deris, and just DM me because my DMs are open. The 100, just DM me the 100, and I'm going to send you over the introductionary deck. Take a look through it. If it's for you, if you're up for the challenge, this could be something great.
Cool.
Shout out to the 100 community. I love you guys.
Yeah. 100 community. I will check it out for sure. So you have like requirements that people need to pass to continue being in the community.
Yeah. They need to be passionate, they need to be committed, and they need to be prepared to dedicate at least half an hour to an hour a day in being able to help the community members grow. So we have things like masterminds and calls that we do on a regular basis, but we also have engagement pods where very carefully we help each other engage in each other's content, right? Just to give it that initial boost, because The algorithm is everything,
Yeah.
right? As you know, as a content creator yourself, in order to tap into the LinkedIn algorithm, within the first 2 to 3 minutes, you have a short period. You need to generate 10 to 15 engagements. That doesn't only need to be likes or reactions or comments or reposts. It needs to be general engagements. And if you're responding to these comments and there's value being generated, the algorithm is going to prioritize your post. So we make sure our community members, they get that boost that they need at the very beginning of their posting period. And if the post is good, right, it's going to scale and it's going to hit a number
Yeah.
of people.
So we are focused on the LinkedIn platform.
For now,
Here.
we've had requests
Okay.
within the community to do the same thing on Twitter. But for me, it's like 99% of every single relationship I generate is on the LinkedIn platform. So why do you need to go anywhere else?
Yeah, true. This is the power of focus, because you're starting a new company and you need Twitter profile, LinkedIn profile, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and website, e-com shop, everything. And you don't have any results on any of those platforms at the end. Okay, you are familiar with the 1000 True Fans theory by Kevin Kelly. Could you explain it to our listeners?
100%.
How does it work and how it can, change your life, basically?
So better than anyone, Kevin has the best explanation for this. So just go onto Google and just Google the 1000 True Fans theory. But in a nutshell, everyone in the creator economy right now is really focused on getting to 1 million fans, 1 million people to go to follow their Instagram or Twitter or the LinkedIn or wherever, or TikTok or whatever platform you're really focused on. It's irrelevant. If you believe that you have the power to impact individuals, right, you're going to get there. But what's really important is that you really focus on, before you get to the first 1000 true fans, you focus on the first 10 people that have truly bought into you. Because these 10 people, if they believe in you and your mission and you're inspiring them and you're motivating them and you're educating them through interactions or through content, they're going to help you get to 100 people. Then the 100 people are going to help you get to 1,000. Then the 1,000 are going to help you get to 10,000. And it's just like a repetitive domino cycle. It's going to keep on going. So put your time and energy in one-on-one relationships. Take your time to build your first 100 fans. And the 100 fans are going to help you elevate to the 1,000 fans. And take that time. Like, again, to reference Gary Vee, people will be surprised how much time he still spends in the comments of his posts responding to comments. He makes his email address public, right, to people. I've emailed Gary. I've had a response. My clients have emailed Gary. They've had a response. It's important. Human interaction is what's going to help you survive in this creator economy.
Yeah, this is really, really important. So what's the importance of building online communities? Why we build those communities?
I would like to thank the lockdown of 2020 for understanding what the importance is, right? Because prior to that, live events and conferences and the social ability to network was absolutely booming. And then once all of us were thrown into lockdown, it was almost taken by surprise, right? But it was the first time in the history of our generation where we could relate to other individuals because we all had one thing in common. We were all in a pandemic. We were all in a lockdown. So there were so many individuals that they did not have the blessing of being with their family, right? They were completely alone. So they would resort to going to online forums, communities, Twitter spaces, clubhouse events, even servers on the Discord to build up relationships with other people to keep them sane, right? It was mainly for the perspective of their own sanity. And I think the importance of building online communities is you have the ability to communicate with people from all over the world. If we roll back business standards to the 1980s, right? People were calling people, they were going face to face, they would have to travel very long distances to make relationships and partnerships and client relationships. But like now at the touch of a button and just by switching on your camera, or even just like an audio event, you can reach anyone in the world.
Yeah.
So if you believe that you have the power again to like impact people and build a community around it, do it online. I'm not going to knock down the benefits of in-person communities because there is a difference for sure. But 99% of all the appreciation you get from other people, you'll be able to get it online the same as you can in person.
Yeah, and it's definitely important when you are building a global brand, for example, and you can talk to people in Asia, in US, in UK, everywhere. Yeah, in Australia, and just like this. Only the time zones are a bit tricky sometimes. If you are building a local brand, okay, you can meet. Like for example, we are meeting in Warsaw. We have our meetups and conferences, but it's hard to get guests from US, from Australia to fly in for one day conference. But now we can do an online conference, and all problems are solved. Zach, could you tell me, do you see any difference between Web2 communities, the classic communities, and the Web3 communities? So what is all about? Is it a lot different than what we are building in the last years?
I think it's the approach. So in the Web2 space, brands would really focus on mass adoption and really viral marketing, right? So they will put together ad campaigns with the intention of reaching millions and millions and millions of individuals. In the Web3 space, the power of one-on-one conversations is how you're able to get projects like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and even Goblin Town, right? Because they take the time to one-on-one build these relationships, which in the long run is a lot more powerful than within the space of a week building your fan base or your community to a couple million, where in reality only 1% of them are going to be active. So if you're taking the opportunity in Web3 specifically to one-on-one build relationships, these one-on-one relationships that you're building, they're going to last a lot longer. So the major difference is just the approach and really appreciating human beings for being human beings rather than just being another number on your follower count.
Yeah. What do you think? What should we do inside the community with inactive members? So you have this 100 people, and you are filtering them out. What should we do? Because it's hard to I don't know, exclude them or punish them for not being active. If you have like entrepreneurs, they don't have so much time to engage with the community, but still you would like to have them around. Do you have any advice?
Yeah, 100%. It goes back to the one-on-one communication, right? So how did you get them to join the community in the first place? You reached out to them one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
It could have been from a Twitter space. It could have been from like, I don't know, an event that you did. They could have joined from a podcast. They may have not had any communication with you directly previously. If you see that in your community, they are not active, you have their email, you have the ability to send them a DM on another social media platform, DM them. Ask them, hey, I noticed you're in the community. Why are you not active? What is it about the community that you don't like? What is it that we could do better in the community to gain your engagement, right? What can we do for you? That's important. Loads of people just instantly go to the point of and the state of mind that, all right, if we have, and I hate this, but if we have inactive members, we're going to prune them and we're just going to onboard more community members. Mm-hmm. Never do that, right? Yeah. Always take the time to have that one-on-one conversation and understand from the inactive community members, why are they not enjoying it enough to jump on every single day and send a couple messages in the Discord or the Slack? Understand and appreciate them for being human.
Great advice. It's actually so simple. Yeah, so simple. People.
But it takes time. It takes time, and people, as soon as they've reached a couple thousand people in their community, they almost don't have the patience, right? Which is where you go wrong as a founder. But if you take the time to, again, with the 1000 true fans theory, right? The first people that joined your community, they will probably be there to the end if you deliver
Yeah.
things in the right way. So really focus on your delivery and your relationship building.
Yeah, it's true. So why do people join communities? Because we talked about the pandemic and the problems with in real life events. But are there any other reasons that people what people like to get from the online community?
It sounds so cliche, but
Yeah.
community, that's what they want, right?
Yeah, the utility of the community is the community.
100%. And
What's
like,
the utility
obviously,
of your community?
100%. And like in between, like the founders and builders in the Web3 space, that's kind of like a private joke that we all have,
Yeah.
but it really is true. So if you have a look at how the Web3 space has actually been built from, what's the word, pseudonyms and people that hide behind their PFPs and they use like alternative names and things like this. There's reasons, psychological reasons behind why that's appealing to people. So if they have the opportunity to go in under a character, essentially a persona that they've created, it breaks down the confidence barrier and they're able to really be themselves, right? Or be a better version of themselves. If you roll this back to online role-playing games like World of Warcraft and things like this, the reason why they've had mass adoption and they still are one of the biggest games in the world in terms of the online usership, probably now it's like Fortnite and Roblox and stuff like that. But if we're going to roll it back, that was appealing to individuals who they could not create friends or they were too shy to create friends in the real world. So these online communities give people the opportunity to make friends all over the world. That's why in Web3, we overuse this term friends because we are all friends, you know? So I would say that's it. It gives people the opportunity to connect with everyone from all over the world. And one thing I would like to touch on is if you have a look at a major celebrity, right? Like Eminem or Katy Perry or Justin Bieber or whoever in the music space. If they were to just purely target their music in their hometown, they'll probably only impact a few thousand people. But because of the fact that they've taken their music global, right? They've been able to attract people in China, in Kazakhstan, in Africa, in Poland, all over the world, right? Where if there was no internet, they would not be able to connect with these people, right? So reach everywhere and join as many communities as you can.
What should be the role of the founder or founders of the community? Should they step aside or be in the center of the community? What should be their role, ideally?
Yeah, man, they should be the epicenter, like 100%, because I come from the school of thought that people don't buy products, people don't buy projects, people buy people. So if the founder or founders, right, have taken the time to establish a project or a solution or a product, whatever it is, you need to be involved. You need to show up on a regular basis. You need to be present at all times. And it is very time consuming, but at the end of the day, you've already dedicated so much time investing in the development of the project. Invest in the growth as well, because people may only be in your community because they know you are the founder, because they believe in you.
Yeah, that's really really important. What do you think about getting community managers that are helping you, for example, engaging the community to talk more, for example, on the Discord, like instead of the founder? Should it be like combined, or what's your take on it?
It should be combined for sure. And understandably, there is a reason why community management teams exist, right? And why they
Yeah.
help projects on like the go-to-market and the pre-mint behind everything that they do. However, one thing that we do very consistently for our clients is we identify the active members within the community and we reward them and incentivize them to be the community managers. So we recruit from within the community because these are people who join the community with no financial incentive apart from the benefits of being part of that community. Could be token, could be NFT, could be whatever it is, right? But if they are active within the community, they are helping spread the word of the community, they're going out of their own way just because they're passionate about the project to help other new members and existing members within the community learn and answer their questions and things like this. Be aware of these individuals because these are the individuals that will become your moderator, they will become your community manager, and they're probably going to help your project scale. But again, Bogosh, it's super important that the founders, right, work in cohesion. I hope that's a word, together with the community managers and the moderators, because there's going to be times where your community only wants to hear from you, especially when things go wrong, because things do go wrong. And that's why it's so important that the founders do not ever hide behind their PFPs or their Twitter pages, right? Get involved in your community. One project which I would like to highlight on really quickly, which I hold really close to my heart, is Ape Gang NFT, right? Ape Gang, these guys are OGs in the space. They launched in May 2021. They've done thousands of ETH in turnover. They've got over 10,000 loyal people that hold their NFT. And last year in Portugal, the founders, Joe Kong and Rekong, they doxed themselves, right, at an NFT conference. And this was one of the most powerful moments in the history of NFTs because no one expected this was ever going to happen. And since then, the loyalty that they've gained from their community members tripled. I'm sure in the community, there was like events and things like this that they did where they were doxed, but the majority of the community in the NFT space, they were unaware of who these two French guys were, right? But they came out, they showed their faces, and the stuff they're doing this year is just absolutely phenomenal. So shout out to Ape Gang.
Yeah, cool. Actually, Portugal is a nice tech and innovation hub right now.
It's a hub,
with Web3 and NFTs. We've been there with Board Founders core team on the last Web Summit conference there in Lisbon, in Portugal, a few months ago. And really, there's so many events like from all of the communities. The Bored Apes were there on the conference. A lot of really cool people from all over the world, loving this space. We made a lot of. Actually, I met my first guest for this podcast. If you want to go to the first episode, if you're listening to this, go to the first episode. I met those guys in Lisbon. They're building NFT patent,
amazing
Web3 startup. So yeah, and it's so nice weather there in Portugal. I love Portugal. All right, very important question: how to encourage new members to join your community? I think a lot of community founders struggle with this. So, what's your advice on this topic?
Be present. Seriously, like be present, be available, and go out of your way to make people aware of what you do. However, don't pitch your projects, right? So an area that works really well for us and also for our clients is I make sure that the founders of the project are established as key opinion leaders or thought leaders within their space. And they host events on a regular basis, live events, right? Where they have industry related, key topic related events. They invite other panels, they invite other speakers, right? To come and share their knowledge. So if you have a look at what we do on the LinkedIn platform every single Friday, we have a networking event at 7:15 p.m. European time, which is 1:15 p.m. Eastern time, right? Every single Friday, consistently. I'm the host of the event. You absolutely crushed it, right? I think at that time we had like 120 people in the room and you spoke right in like the middle of the event and people loved what you were talking about. Now, as the founder and the host of this event series, I was only asking questions. However, what happened is so many people were coming to me, connecting with me, asking to jump on a meeting, asking me to take them on as a client because they saw what I was doing for the community. I was giving opportunities to other founders like yourself to come and meet my community, be able to leverage, that's an important word, be able to leverage my community and my reach for the betterment of their growth. If you can help other people grow in this space, your community will grow just as fast. It's called cross-pollination community growth. This is why it's really important and why a very big focus on 2023 community growth is going to be on partnerships and collaborations. Because if you work together with other people to leverage each other's communities and to inspire individuals, they'll get involved everywhere.
Yeah, and how you combining, the public events from outsiders, from general public, and working and engaging with the community? Because me personally, I have a bit of a problem with this.
Okay.
So I'm all inside the community, but sometimes I don't have time or energy to, do the public events and to get new people into the community. The community is fine. They're all happy. We've got a lot of things going on, but not a lot of new people are,
Onboarding.
onboarding, and they don't know about the community and what we provide. So how to, combine it, how to balance it, the public and the private thing?
You need to have a very consistent schedule. So I have ADHD, right? Which essentially is attention to deficit hyperactive disorder. It just means my brain could be all over the place, right? And what I do and what I have done for over 20 years to be able to master my ADHD and turn it into a superpower is a technique called time externalization. And the way that this works is I log every single task from getting up, going to the bathroom. I'm being deadly serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eating, taking a break, meetings, podcasts, live events. I break it down into 20-minute increments and I put it in my calendar. So if anyone's going to have a look at my calendar, they're going to think this is insane. It's the calendar of a madman, but it's what allows me to because look, man, it can be very demotivating at times, right? Being in the public eye and things like this and being present constantly. So it allows me to really be inspired by that because I can see every 20 minutes, every hour, I'm going to achieve something new. So every single Friday, I've committed to doing these live events, but the way that I pushed myself to be committed is at the beginning of January, I made an announcement. I put it out there, building in public, right? And I let the community know every single Friday, I'm going to be doing this. So now if I don't do this, I'm going to let my community down because they're expecting it. So put a little bit of pressure on yourself because it is good to do so, but just like have a very vigorous schedule and live by your calendar. So if you have like
it's
20
not for
minutes
everyone.
a week, it's not for everyone, but if
Just
you have
for
20 minutes a week to go out and build new community and onboard new community members, that could be from a LinkedIn post, that could be from jumping on the Twitter space. But 20 minutes a week, if you were to commit that, you'll see your community growing. But again, it's not for everyone. Yeah. And that's the reason why I never work on the weekends. Never. Sometimes.
Really?
But never.
Really? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the community. We want to work inside the community, give more and more and, more value. So how can we engage the community inside? What can we do? You mentioned one-on-one relationships. Okay, what else can we do inside the community to engage people?
Consistent events is one. I mean, I've seen stuff like poker nights, gaming events, right? Masterclasses, masterminds, live events, Twitter spaces, like just constantly have something new or consistent that is going on. Because if you don't do that, your community members are going to go to a more active community. For some people, when they were to first join maybe Doodles or maybe Deadfellas, and they go into the general chat on the Discord, there's like 1,000 messages a minute. That's not even an exaggeration. It's crazy, and they can't keep up, right? And this is why, by being able to have specific channels within your community, your online community, that people can go for specific key topics, right? That always works really well. But the biggest takeaway of being able to engage your community is always offer to help them. So one thing that we do very successfully within our communities is we have key dedicated areas within the community where people can ask for help and they can look for opportunities. So it's almost like a job board or a client board type of a situation, because regardless of what we all think, everybody has a financial incentive, right? And this is kind of why we're all in the Web3 space, for financial freedom. So if you can help other people grow and gain access to opportunities, right, your engagement is going to be consistent.
Yeah, great advice. And how not to build the community? So what are some common mistakes among the founders of online Web3 communities?
Well, how much time do you have? Like there's a lot. It's a shocking amount. So number one thing, stop purchasing bots, stop purchasing engagement, right? Stop trying to fake the vibe of the community. We've all been in this space for too long. That could be a week, that could be a month, that could be a year. We know what's fake and we know what's real, right? Anyone can go to a Twitter profile and they can see when engagement has been faked. So don't waste your time on it. Don't buy any followers. And probably, like, I was going to say this in a LinkedIn post in a week or two, but probably this is the best time for me to say this. Shockingly enough, bots have arrived on the LinkedIn platform. People don't realize this, but I noticed last night there's a marketing agency that has got 500,000 subscribers to their company page, and every single post that they put out has like 7,000 likes, right? It's so consistent, 8,000 or the 7,000, but they get 20 or 30 comments. So I spent an hour clicking on every single profile that was engaging, and they had 423 employees on the company page, but they've only been open for 6 months. And I was like, I've been growing businesses for a long time. I've never seen anything like that. My initial intention was I need to buy a course from them and learn what they do, right? Because they're crushing it. They're not. Everything is fake, but they're generating so much business because, unfortunately, in this age of the internet, Bogush, people have got sheep mentality. They go where the herd is going. So if they see something is popping off, they're going to go to follow it. So be aware, especially on the LinkedIn platform, bots have arrived. Let's extinguish them and just keep things organic.
Yeah, what can you do? Did you hear that on Facebook there will be subscriptions?
Shout out to Elon Musk, right? I mean, pioneering
blue
it.
Check mark.
But it makes sense, right? I mean, because at the end of the day, every single social media platform is competing against each other, right? And the blueprint and the essence of what they do is they're not a networking platform. People need to understand this. Even the decentralized social media platforms, they are not a networking social media platform. They are a data company. They want the data. That's the most important thing. And what do they want more than the data? They want to monetize. So if there is opportunities, right, for people to grow through these subscription models, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to endorse it, but cool.
So how people can crush it on LinkedIn in 2023 and 2024 and beyond?
You can DM me on LinkedIn, crush it. And I can give you my free ebook, which is called Crush It on the LinkedIn platform in 2023. It will take you 40 minutes to read through it, or maybe an hour. It depends on like your reading speed. But this is the kind of book that you're going to use every single day, 5 days a week or 6 or 7 days a week as you're crushing it on the LinkedIn platform, because it's not a book. It's a step-by-step guide. It's the blueprint that I use for my clients and I use for myself. It's what I've done to go from 0 to 17,000 followers, subscribers, connections, whatever you want to call it, in the space of 13 months, right? Every single detail that I've put in that book was essentially for the 100 community, right? To fast forward their progress. But then on every single live event, that's the drip kind of like a funnel that I give to people. I just give it away for free because it works, right? It's just a step-by-step guide. It teaches you about the content types, the content formats, how to benefit from the right kind of hashtags. I see so many posts and they've got hundreds of hashtags in it. Dude, you need free because each of the hashtags are competing against each other, right? So it's really educational. But the number one thing, regardless of me and that book, right, is consistency. That's how you crush it, right? Respond to every single DM, offer to meet as many people as you can via Zoom or via Google Meet, right? Engage in other people's content, join live events, right? And create content on a regular basis. Doesn't need to be every single day or twice a day, but if you're only going to post every 2 days, post at the same time, right? So your audience is going to be aware and subconsciously they're going to know on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. you're going to be posting.
Okay, but what should people post about? For example, should they be like consistent with the topics they post about?
Nah,
or
space it out. You need a variety, right?
Yeah.
So in the book, we break down the content styles and you've got personal content that crushes it completely. If you give people the opportunity to learn about the man or the woman behind the business, right? And into your personal life, you're going to relate to so many more people. You have industry related content, right? You have educational related content. You have content related to going to network. So as much as I can, every single Tuesday, I have a Pitch Me Tuesday where I tell people to tell me about their business in the comments. I respond to absolutely everything. I try to connect them with other people on the platform that could benefit from their services or their business. And one that people don't take advantage of, which is shockingly scary, is content related to celebrating other people. So if I'm going to make a post and I'm going to say, go check out the Board Founders community, it's launched by Bogusz and his amazing team. These are 3 or 4 bullet points on the community and there's a link to the project. What are you going to do? You're going to like it? Right? Because I wrote about you. You're going to like it, you're going to comment on it, and you're probably going to repost it. What happens then is your community is going to check me out because I spoke about you.
Yeah.
People don't take advantage of that, right? It's a really nice way to celebrate other people, but also be able to leverage each other's communities because you're bringing awareness to your community of the person that you're speaking about, and their community is learning about you.
And in general, I think the thing that you are doing, the tagging, the people inside the post or in comments, is really powerful.
That needs to be specific, though, right? There needs to be a reason behind it, right? Like, I can say this publicly. I get tagged in posts 10 to 15 times a day, right? I remove the majority of these tags because it's just people trying to leverage my network where they write about AI or automation, then they just tag me in it because they want me to engage in it. If I'm going to write about Bogusz or John or Maggie or whoever, right? I need to write about them. I need to give a reason why I'm tagging them in the comments or in the post. It could be as very simple as at Bogusz in the comments, what's your opinion on this? Because I know you're doing this in the Board Founders community, right? Spark conversations. Don't just aimlessly tag people. It's silly.
Yeah. But I can say that your posts are visible on LinkedIn. When I engaged your your space, now I see a lot of your posts and I see a lot of people interacting with it. So congrats on this.
Like, it was a journey, right? It takes time, believe it or not. There was a time where I got 0 likes and 0 comments on my posts, but I stayed consistent because I knew there would be one person that could benefit from it. And here we are today.
What do you think the future holds for Web3 marketing? Is it the obvious future? And how, agencies, companies, communities, consultancies, how can they leverage Web3 in their
Cool.
marketing?
So on the first part, like it's education, right? The future of Web3 marketing is education. The more you provide the knowledge and the education on the space and how other people can grow within this space, the more you're going to be successful as a project or even as an agency. And the other side is collaborations, right? Like you really need to be able to get this everyone's a competitor mentality out of your head. Once you realize that other people will go out of your way to collaborate and help you grow, your journey is going to be so much easier. If you have a look at projects like the Deadfellas, for example, they did a collaboration with the Jean brand Wrangler, I believe. Like, don't quote me on that. I hope I'm not wrong, right?
Okay.
But they were able to onboard more people from the Web2 space because they did a collaboration with a popular brand in Web2. But it was also beneficial for the Web2 brand because they brought awareness to Web3 through a simple ad and a simple collaboration, right? But you just have to take the first step and ask people. That's the number one thing. Go out of your way every single day and DM 10 new people. See if you can get a conversation. Put it in your calendar. Stay consistent. You always have to meet new people to be successful.
And do you think companies, consultants, agencies, should they follow Web3 trends? Or because, for a lot of people, it's just like, some trend and it will go away in a few months or a year. But should they invest in it?
They've been
time?
saying it's going to go away and it's just a fad since 2018, So I'm not going to influence anyone's decision. So I don't know. If you feel that the Web3 space will have a positive impact on your business and everything that you're trying to achieve in life, then dive in, educate yourself, get involved in communities and learn from other people how they have been successful. I have so many friends who they don't know what Web3 is. They don't know what NFTs are. And I try to educate them, but like they just won't allow it to process. But they're very successful. Extremely successful. So Web3 and NFTs isn't for everyone, right? Like it's really gritty. There are loads of long hours in it, right? And you're going to meet incredible people in the space, but either jump in or don't jump in. Are we going to achieve mass adoption? And is the Web3 space going to be the future of technology, right? So far, we're doing well.
Yeah. Could you recommend us a book, a podcast, a material, anything that you find interesting and valuable? It doesn't need to be business book or business materials. What do you recommend?
Cool. One podcast that I recently discovered that I'm a huge fan of is the Board Founders podcast, and you're actually here right now. So click that subscribe button, hit that like, right, and turn on the notification bell. And a book, no, for sure. And a book, I would say there's a guy by the name of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He has a book called Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. You can have a listen to the audio book. It's 9.5 hours long, or you can go ahead and buy the book or download the PDF. It's a good book, man. People underestimate the power of what he has done within the rap space and the entrepreneurial space. This guy began as a rap artist. Well, he began as something else, right? But he began as a rap artist. Then he became a business mogul. Then he did a deal with, like a water brand. And now he has a network. Yeah, he has a network of the biggest TV shows on Stars, right? But that's just the beginning for him. The guy's pushing 45 to 50, and his career as an entrepreneur is only just taking off. So the stuff you can learn from that is great. Another book I want to recommend is Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. It helped me through a very difficult period of my life. Check that out. And for the deep-minded, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. Check that out. Nothing
Yeah,
else to say on that.
great recommendations. Great recommendations. Where can people find you? How to get in touch with you? How can people work with you if they want?
Cool. So Twitter is Zacky Dees with 2 Z's at the end. Everywhere else is Zack Deris, even the website, zackderis.com. So you go anywhere, you write Zack Deris, you find me, apart from Twitter, because I've forgot my password for so many Twitter accounts over the years because I wasn't really active on it. Zacky D's with 2 Z's. But apart from that, Zack Deris everywhere.
So, but what is your favorite platform? People should write on LinkedIn, I guess.
LinkedIn. Yeah, you can find me active on the LinkedIn. But we also have a fairly large community on Instagram as well, right? So if you want to connect with me on Instagram, Zack Deris.
Great. I've seen that you have private account on Instagram.
Yeah, it's intentional. I can tell you like the philosophy behind it, right? In October last year, I got married. We went on a honeymoon, and in my reading time by the beach or by the pool, I was just taking a look at how to crush it on Instagram. And then I came across like these techniques and courses. I bought a couple courses just to learn about it because it was important to see if I was able to offer it to my clients. And I spent a couple $1,000s on ads, and I made my account private. And these ads generated me from 2,000 people to 107,000 people within 2 weeks, right?
Oh.
It was crazy. But the call to action is if you make a promoted post, but then they click on your account and the promoted post is really good, they click on your account and it's private, they're going to hit the follow button, right? So, yeah, it's tactical.
Yeah, we have influencers like million plus here in Poland with private accounts as well.
Yeah, but like for me, like Instagram it's super private, man. It's like I post about my marriage, I post about like my family and my friends. I don't really put a lot of business things on there. It was just for fun. That's why I did it.
Maybe I should make my account private and see.
If you're going to run some ads, yeah, do it. It works.
Yeah, great. Okay, Zach, thank you very much. And I also recommend your Web3 networking event. It's really, really awesome. You can get a lot of great LinkedIn contacts there. I was there. I was engaging with the people during the meeting, and I was listening and also DMing people during the event. So it was really, really great. Thank you for our talk, and I think we will hang out in the Board Founders Club as well. And we should definitely meet for a coffee here in Warsaw, because you're in Warsaw. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. The best Web3 growth hacker on LinkedIn is in Warsaw, like few kilometers from here, from my office.
Yeah, well, we will meet for sure. I appreciate the invitation. I would just like to say again to everyone, go give the Board Founders a subscription, right? Go check them out. They're pretty cool, and I'm really happy to be part of the community. So shout out to Board Founders.
Yeah, thank you, Zach, for the show. It was a pleasure to have you, and see you around. Thank you very much.
See you around. Cheers. Bye.